Most of the 32 nations competing in this year's World Cup have submitted their squad lists. And there have already been some notable omissions. Some World Cup winners will be watching the competition at home, and a few talented youngsters have paid a heavy price for joining the wrong club at the wrong time. Here are the 11 players and substitutes that didn't make it in the final squad for the World Cup. De Gea, Spain. De Gea played 45 games with Spain. He played in the World Cup and the Euro Cup, and even though he has plenty of experience, he was not selected by Luis Enrique as the Spaniard wants to build his team based on the new emerging Spanish generation. Having the favor of Enrique, the 25-year-old keeper Unai Simon will be playing in his first World Cup. As a substitute, we selected De Gea fellow countryman, Pau Lopez. For the central defenders positions, we have selected Gabriel Magalhaes and Roger Ibanez. Gabriel, Brazil. This is a big surprise as Gabriel was building momentum and became the best defender for Arsenal, the leader of the Premier League. If the starters Marquinhos and Thiago Silva are untouchables, with plenty of international experience, the gunner had room to be a part of the substitutes. Roger Ibanez, Brazil. He is considered as one, if not, the best defender in Serie A. Ibanez is in the same situation as Gabriel. It shows the depth of talent that Brazil has for their central defenders. As a substitute, we selected the Dutch Sven Botman and the French Pierre Kalulu. Angelino, Spain. Angelino was considered one of the hottest prospects for the left-back position just a couple of years ago. Having to compete with Jordi Alba and Jose Gaya, Angelino might be more offensive than his competition, but what he provides in attack, he cannot deliver in defense. We still believe he would have been a good alternative if the Spanish game plan had to switch to 5 defenders. As a substitute, we selected the French Ferland Mendy. Emerson Royal, Brazil. We didn't expect Emerson Royal to be left out of the group going to Qatar, as except for Danilo and Vanderson, Brazil doesn't have many options. We certainly didn't expect the veteran Dani Alves to take the spot of Emerson. And if Dani Alves will bring an incredible amount of experience and wisdom to the group, we are not sure he can still compete on the pitch with the likes of Emerson Royal. As a substitute, we selected the French Mohamed Simakan. Donny van de Beek, Netherlands. Van de Beek was an important part of the amazing 2019 Ajax team that reached the semi-final of the Champions League. At his arrival, Van de Beek was considered a good signing as he was a rising star and very close to signing for Real Madrid. At that time, the midfielder was a mainstay in the Orange squad, even if not always as a starter. Since then, due to poor form and lack of playtime, Van de Beek's exile from the national team became a norm. As a substitute, we selected the Brazilian Gerson. Ryan Gravenberch, Netherlands. Like Van de Beek, Gravenberch was a hot prospect when he was playing for Ajax, having his first call-up for the national squad at the age of 18. Unfortunately, the 11 caps midfielder was not able to grab a spot for Qatar, having Xavi Simons and Kenneth Taylor being called up to play at his favorite position. Gravenberch has paid the price for failing to make a single start in the Bundesliga since joining Bayern Munich, being limited to 412 minutes of football in the German League and the Champions League. As a substitute, we selected the Portuguese Renato Sanchez. Thiago Alcantara, Spain. Suffering from repetitive injuries, Thiago played only 8 games with Liverpool this season. The 46 caps midfielder suffered the same problem as De Gea, Luis Enrique wanting to give a chance to the new Spanish generation. With plenty of talent in the midfield, Spain should be good as Thiago played his last international game at Euro 2020 last year. As a substitute, we selected the German Marco Reus. Jadon Sancho, England. After a difficult move to Manchester United last season, there was hope that the winger might return to his Dortmund level under new manager Erik ten Hag. Unfortunately, Sancho is still having difficulties adapting to the Premier League and United. He logically left his place in the group to the likes of Grealish, Foden, and Bukayo Saka. Moussa Diaby, France. He might not be a high-profile player but he is without a doubt in fantastic form in Bundesliga. It's simple, in 107 games with Leverkusen, he had 60 goals and assists. That is the reason why he was selected by Deschamps and even played 8 times wearing the Les Bleus jersey. Diaby suffered strong competition with Ousmane Dembele and Nkunku. As a substitute, we selected the Brazilian David Neres. Roberto Firmino, Brazil. Brazil's decision to overlook Roberto Firmino is just astonishing. There are few forwards in the world as versatile and creative as the Liverpool number 9. And even though the attacking line selected by Tite is impressive with talents, less reliable attackers with inferior numbers to Firmino have been included. Let's hope Brazil will be able to find the best team to score goals and forget Firmino's absence. As a substitute, we selected the English Tammy Abraham. This is the best team of the players not selected for the World Cup. Which player would you change in your team? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. Cheers and see you on the next one.